and I'm finalizing my 5-game Super Bowl card. I'm not going to be betting a side in the big game. I'm going to stick to props. Steve Merrill brought up the fact that he watched the tape of Super Bowl 57, the same matchup between these two teams. Let's keep in mind how that game ended. Kansas City with the ball in a tie game, controversial pass interference call. I don't want to be on the wrong side of something like that in this game. I don't see an edge, to be honest. It's a pick'em game. You got some questions with the officiating. I'd rather sit this one out as far as taking the side and just focus on the props. And as you mentioned, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. 10-1 run. I was 10-1 with the NFL playoffs and the divisional round and the conference championships. And of those 11 plays, only one of them was a side. The majority were player props and totals. So, there's more than one way to skin a cat, and we're going to look at player props for the Super Bowl. And I have one for you here, Joe. Let's look at Jalen Hurts. I think the biggest misconception about this Super Bowl, you talk to the casuals and they're all saying Saquon's going to go off for $150 and 3 tutties. Like that's just going to be something that's easy to do. Well, I'll tell you what, nobody's gone over 120. No running back has run for 120 yards in the last 20 years. And no running backs run for 100 yards against a Steve Spagnuolo defense in 18 straight games. I know damn well that if Barkley goes off for 150 yards and 3 tutties, the Eagles are going to win in a rout. I know it. You know it. Teddy knows it. Steve Merrill knows it. And be sure that Steve Spagnuolo knows it as well. So he's going to be heavily invested in picking your poison, focus on slowing down Saquon. And, as you stack players in the closer to the line of scrimmage, that leaves open receivers or single coverage, one-on-one matchups. But I think that the Chiefs are going to be comfortable letting Jalen Hurts try to beat them. If they've got to pick their poison, they're just not going to open the door for Saquon to run all over them, because that would be a disaster. And they'd rather see Jalen Hurts attempt to pick them apart and see if he can do it. And speaking of Hurts, Super Bowl 57, 304 yards on 27 of 38 passing. He also ran for 70 yards and a couple touchdowns as well. But yeah, 210 and a half yards for Jalen Hurts to over 210 and a half passing yards. I just don't think that the running lanes are going to be there for Barkley. And I think they're going to dare Hurts to throw the ball. And I think he can at least get over 210 and a half yards.
Yeah, don't hate that at all. And I'm with you, Jesse, because I don't believe they're going to do anything different except wrap up. Do not allow them to bust the 65, 70-yard touchdown run and change the game like that. Otherwise, if he wants to get 3 or 4, 4 yards, be my guest. Just don't let him open the game up there. And I don't think they have to do anything really crazy to prevent him from going 70 yards on a mere drop back handoff and a stretch play, which apparently works wonders. Jess, you don't even have to draw anything exciting up. Just hand them the ball and let them go, apparently. So we'll see if Spags and company can get it done. I'm with Johnny Detroit, who's in the chat room right now. Under Barkley props across the board for him. Do you guys agree with that? I'm with you, Jess. I think it's going to have to be Jalen Hurts is going to have to outdo Patrick Mahomes if they're going to win this game.